You knew I had to talk about it. I wasn't going to let this one go by. Guess what? There's no such thing as too big. Welcome back to the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm going to talk about the third-party panel and give you my ideas and thoughts and feelings and beliefs about these things. So, get into it real quick. First, the Non-Neff Productions is making this. It's a Steak Man, and yeah, he's deluxe size, kind of like a bot. If you're into that kind of thing. Next up, the Half Battle Toys is also making an upgrade for the KO Oversized Gravity Builder. This is for the big one, and it's supposed to also include fillers. So there's been some kits out there. This is an official kit, more or less, unofficial, official, and it's just an upgraded head along with some fillers to make them taller. So pretty much closer to Toy World's. I did not know this when I was doing the film for the floor, the dealer room, that those are not Magic Square. In fact, that wasn't even Magic Square's Soundwave. That was the DX9 Soundwave. These tapes are made by Half Battle Toys to go in Blaster and Soundwave. I didn't know that. That is awesome. That is really cool. I'm excited about this. Now, I don't know if they're going to be sold separately or if you're going to be able to buy them as a set, but probably 2 sets because they're so small. But that's awesome. That's exciting. And here's more of them. They just look so good. For that size, like, that is amazing. I really was thinking that Magic Square was putting this stuff out, but it's really cool too because you're not going to have to buy a Soundwave, another Soundwave to get them all, or another Blaster to get them all if you like your Blaster, or your Soundwave. They should fit in every one. And then here's this guy. He looks cool too. And we've already seen this before, but now it's kind of tied in with the whole G.I. Joe in the game Wars game. And I imagine they're going to do more of these. But my understanding, they've been in production for a long time, or like work a long time on this, and it still hasn't actually been made yet. Civil Warrior. We have this Civil Warrior, and it's a stylized Prime. It looks interesting. It's got some great paint apps, and that transformation. My understanding is it's got a much more slimline transformation than originally thought. Now it combines to make an even bigger one with some other parts and a trailer and all that stuff, and it just looks cool. It's gonna be. I mean, if it's something if you're not wanting to go Super G1, that's for you. Transcraft. Now this is just something way out there. And you know what? People want something way out there. This is the Transcraft. This is a Mohican toy, but it's kind of crazy. This is definitely something that seems like it would be in the Bayverse universe quite a bit. But I think that's a cool looking bike. That definitely is a really cool looking bike. And it turns into a crazy looking bot, that's for sure. Now we have Banana Force, and they're showing off all the stuff that Banana Force can do, but it feels like we've already seen this, but you know, it's going to come out soon. They're going to be able to present themselves with, you know, however awesome of a job that they do, but then all these things do combine into the super mode, and so that's going to be interesting to how all that works. None of it really is transforming. So, talking about Kang Toys, so it was clarified in the panel that there was Kang Toys is not Toy World, which everybody was trying to say and think that Kang Toys was Toy World, but they're not. So but they are coming out with a very stylized version of Predaking and very smooth and sleek. In fact, I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. I kind of like the smoother, sleek look of it than what I've been seeing with some other Predakings, but it's extremely stylized, and that's unlike me to say I like something stylized, so. But yeah, each individual member looks a little bit different, but they do kind of hide off the heads in the combined mode. And then the hands turn into like a crab looking thing. We have some fans hobby stuff here, so we're going to get 2 different colors of the same kind of thing that I got going on here. And this is going to be the Black God Armor, and I don't think the first one's out and released yet. but yeah, pretty cool looking. And you, of course, you get the combining element with it. It's going to be huge. These guys are going to be big. Pretty awesome. Show them next to, I think is that Carnifex? Is that Carnifex? Yeah. Both some really, really big bots, so you can kind of see how big they are. And we have the Lightning Eagle here, which is a great homage to old school, and just these figures were kind of going into a bit of an obscure area, which, hey, we've asked for. We like that kind of stuff. Here's a couple of different angles of it. They're also working on their Athena, which they say it's Minerva. I didn't think Minerva had this color scheme, but anyway, whatever. It's still pretty cool looking, and I know fembots are very underrepresented, so people are excited about that. It is a headmaster, which, you know, why isn't RC a headmaster? But anyway, the other thing is, what's next? And then we've got this preview. So we haven't been seeing a whole lot of these teaser previews lately. It's kind of gone the way of, well, not there anymore, so. Let me know what you think that teaser was. We also have this core robot, and this guy is going to, my understanding is that he's going to have some really heavy ratchets in it, so it can hold together and hold up to being combined in combined mode and being massive. So it's, they're doing some crazy stuff over there. Moving into some Iron Factory. So we got these guys here, which are supposed to, the DJD, is that what it is? And they're supposed to be combining into this thing here. And so Iron Factory is doing their own thing, and guess what? People love what Iron Factory does. So one of the top leading Legends figure makers out there. They're also making, so this is, I guess, their Cliff Jumper. I mean, it looks like Cliff Jumper. It's not Cliff Jumper. It is Cliff Jumper. We've already had a look at these already. We saw actual versions of them, but these are color pictures of the Soundwave, so I really like that. It looks really good. And then, of course, they've got their Optimal Optimus, and we saw that already too. But, you know, this kind of stuff, this Iron Factory design works for this guy. Perfect. Like, this is actually, like, if you think about it, this describes Iron Factory's design in a nutshell. Optimal Optimus describes Iron Factory's whole aesthetic and design. That it all works together very well. And then this, and I still think that this Red Dragon looks pretty good. And we have Ultra Magnus. That thing is beefy. And we got this guy here. I don't know. Some people love this kind of stuff. This Lio Kaiser Samurai. Now you might be wondering, why are they showing off their Azalea? And their Azalea is getting a repaint. If you look at the first picture there, it shows that the new one's going to get like a darker, more pinker, purplish of a pink. I don't know, redder in the pink, however you want to look at it. And I like that. I mean, it's a slight paint variation, and the first one they came out with more G1, and then now this is just something a little bit different. And so if you go that route, and you know, the first one is the one you'd want the most, the second one's a little bit different variation, I mean, I'm okay with that. I just hate it when the second one is better than the first one. And then they're recoloring into this warrior, protoform warrior, and guess what? They got a mold, they want to make some money off it. If this appeals to you, buy it. So we got better pictures of their exclusives that were, you know, the TFCon exclusives. And so we have this Sphinx Pharaoh Espionage, and then we have this Regenesis. So better pictures, and yeah, they still look about the same. Getting into okay, now I was confused about all this. I had this pre-ordered, but it's the picture on Shozi, by the way, and the picture showed it looking like the first run, and it said too inaccurate. I just figured, hey, they didn't update the picture yet, and then they got canceled, so it's technically not out yet. So when they put the pre-order back up, I'm going to pre-order it again. But this is a cell-shaded, tune-accurate version versus the first one, which the first one is a great offering, but I was wanting to see tune-accurate, and it does look good. It is a really cool looking version, and that's an excellent bot, by the way. They did a great job with it. So yeah, I would love to get me a cell shaded Toon Accurate version for sure. They got better pictures of their Bruticus, and showing off that the head of Bruticus just kind of folds over the main bot there, so when they're combining, so it's kind of interesting how that works. And since it's all inclusive, hey, how does it work? Now, I'm not in on this set yet, like myself personally, not personally in on this set yet, but I am going to get a Swindle, and I'm getting a Swindle simply because I want a Swindle. I want to kind of have one of these figures to talk about and to just kind of have an idea of how the set works. And hey, it might sell me on the set, who knows. This is showing foot extenders, like you can make him taller. That was my biggest complaint about the guy, was he's too short, and now they got these foot extenders and stuff that's going with it, an upgrade kit. So it's all in one, and now you can add to it and upgrade it. Planet X, and okay, so somebody said this was Death Source. I don't think it's Death Source, but definitely an interesting looking character. But we know who's coming next. Who's coming next is Star Saber. The Star Saber looks good. So you've got the Planet X version, and then you've got the Flames Toys version. I'm leaning more towards Flames Toys, but Flames Toys don't transform, and this one does. And then you got this guy here, which, what is the name of this guy? I guess I'm thinking it's a Victory Leo kind of character that's going to combine with Star Saber and make that giant, well, they didn't show it to you, but, you know, make the combined Star Saber. Kind of like what I think KFC made one that went on the official, and so, yeah, that would be pretty cool. Okay, now, we have already seen this Red Dragon. I have it on the way. The Jing Zing Red Dragon, I think, is an amazing figure. I haven't had my figures on it yet. I can't really tell you until I do the review, so I guess wait for my review to know on that one. But, okay, so this is old news in a way. And I was like, why are they... Oh, here's why. We got new news. So, here we are with... is that a Silver Bolt? Is that a Silver Bolt highlight right there? I mean, I hope so. That would be awesome. That would be outstanding for another character. And everybody's favorite part. It's funny. They saved the Fans Toys to the end in this panel. I guess I did too because I followed the panel. But interesting. They got Sheridan. He was already on display. They said that Sheridan is coming soon. Like in a few weeks. I don't know. I mean, I heard that. I'm excited. A few weeks. Maybe in a few weeks they're going to start shipping to the distributors, and we've got a month till we get it. Who knows? I don't want to get my hopes up or your hopes up too much. But, and it was really hard to hear in that thing, but it sounded like in a few weeks. Then we've got Hunk, better pictures, or different pictures, or same pictures, more of the same. And then we've got Magnum PI. That's where that came from, right? And then we've got a picture of all of them together, like the set that you could do so far once Magnum comes out. And Goose. Now, I said this in my other video today that I'm excited about Goose. I think this is probably my most excited of the Combiner figures at all, is, well, all of the limbs for Superion and all of Superion. But Goose I'm more excited about than all of these Minotaur ones we're getting, because it's really the only masterpiece version of a Superion figure, one of the aerial bots that you'd want to display in robot mode. I mean, I don't know, am I the only one that thinks like that? But anyway, they showed more pictures of Thomas and said that they are still reworking a few things on it. It's as good as it looks and as much as done as it looks. They still have more stuff they want to do to it before they release it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Instead of releasing something that needs fixes, make those fixes now. And I'm okay with it. But it looks great in all modes. I think it's a really nice looking bot and just really cleans up in all modes. It works nice. Does look like it's going to be quite tabtastic. And so you're going to have to, like, looks like even they have some trouble getting all the tabs lined up 100%. But anyway, you can see this chest options. You can either do the toy option or the tune option, which however you want to do it. and it looks like it won't be very hard to swap from one to the other. On to the shot heard around the world, and oh my gosh. We debated this one in that video, how big is too big? Now there's no such thing. This is actually going to be right at 40 inches. They said it was a 3.5 foot, or right around 3.5 foot. So that would put it at 40 to maybe 43 inches tall, which is huge. I'm sitting here thinking, like, what's Unicron going to look like next to this guy? And so the question is, how is that big of a figure going to get shipped and sold, and what's the price? And nobody knows. The only thing we truly do know about this so far is that the head is FT40A. So meaning the first one to come out is going to be the head, which is extremely smart, because that's probably the most anticipated and exciting piece to this, is getting the head. And I'd probably buy two myself, because he's going to scale with the Make Toys, I bet. I bet you put him right next to Make Toys, and he's going to look good. Now, I've long since said the correct scale would be make Cerebros the size of MP10, or at the time we talked about this, MP10 was all that was out. But make Cerebros the size of like Magic Square or MP44 or all of those. But you make them about that size, and then rework the whole figure backwards from it. And it looks like that's what they did, and it does look like his sword clips into the bottom of his neck and turns into, I don't know, maybe that's a stabilizer or something. And maybe it's even utilized for articulation. Who knows? That is cool. That's awesome integration too. I like that. You know, like he's got a weapon. He doesn't have a gun with him, but he's got a weapon there, and then that's utilized when he converts into head mode. That is awesome. This picture shows you the size for real. Like, for real, the size. If any of y'all have their Hoodlum, oh my gosh. Now, Hoodlum's a little bit shorter of their figures. I mean, he's not super short. So give, like look at this picture and give it an extra 12%, and then you can kind of go up to the rest of their average figures heights. But wow, that thing is gonna be where would I even put that? Where would you put that thing? Wow. I want it so bad now, but I don't know where I'd even put it. And I know we've talked about this. Wow. Base mode. I bet you this base mode has a bajillion features. Like, I just can't even begin to think how many features, what all it does. I mean, wow. Easily $1,000, right? Oh, wow. Let me know what you guys think. You know, what do you think about this panel? What do you think about Fortress Maximus? Oh my gosh. Mind blown. Like, subscribe to Dear Hanger out.